With Cappelli Identity Design, we take on all kinds of design and communication challenges, project after project, from strategies to brands, from print media to digital, and from exhibit design to product. All of this is particularly fascinating for me, but I never imagined this could become my way of making a living and my profession. Obviously, how and what we design is based on the perspectives we have on life and our values. This is why we take Olivetti's values to heart. We love Olivetti's values and what they stand for. Olivetti symbolizes the culture of democratic design. The central idea was to share the wealth of progress. Adriano Olivetti created a timeless model of respect for people and their lives. An industrial model built on sharing knowledge, looking into the future and being effective. Designing for Olivetti is to be a part of these values and to express them in our work. The values of Olivetti about the diversity, about the community and the culture are already a part of what it means to be Italian. Here in Italy, we have so much beauty around us, so many different places and historical periods right before our eyes every day. They inspire our curiosity and awaken our sense of aesthetics. And we share this other great fortune with Olivetti, living in Italy. Unlike the image people have of Italy, this is a country of diversity. Italy is different people from different traditions and religions who have come to make this home. Olivetti has created many iconic objects in the world that have become part of the history of many families. Objects that have become part of the life of society. That's what design should be doing. Design should be useful for humanity, not just for the company's balance sheet. I remember Adriano Olivetti said, "I think about the factory for people, not people for the factory." He said, work should be a joy, and it's still a torment for many. These simple principles bring the role of the person back to the core of things in company dynamics. In this way, you can develop projects that have high school, aesthetic, and functional meaning. In after more than 60 years, the name Adriano Olivetti is still loved by young people. It's because his ideas still offer hope. Things can still change. Olivetti's leadership showed the world how it's done. I want to read. The word utopia is often the most convenient way to dismiss something. One doesn't have the desire, capacity, or courage to do. A dream feels like a dream until you start working on it. And then it can become something infinitely bigger. So, Cappelli Identity Design was born professionally from these same ideals, but from more humble roots than Olivetti. We opened our studio over 10 years ago with a series of failures and victories, but we have stayed true to our human values working in the world of design. And we have said no sometimes to not betray our way of thinking about design. Thanks to this consistency, we now have 2 locations in Italy, and we work with clients all over the world. The main studio is a room, walking distance from the Colosseum actually. Just walking to work every day, you can breathe in all of the history and the beauty of the art and architecture of Rome. The second studio is in Turin, near Ivrea, birthplace of Adriano Olivetti. Our studio is inside an incredible industrial complex called OGR, and is now a tech hub for everyone. We share that space with other innovative companies. We work on more than 100 projects a year, paying attention to social and environmental sustainability. We have been working with Olivetti since 2015. We created the Olivetti Design Contest dedicated to students from universities all over the world. We wanted to be able to discover young talent with this project and give them professional universities. We also designed 4 posters for the contest over the years that you can see in museums in Italy and New York. We also do as many cultural initiatives as we can, like exhibitions, talks, and conferences to spread the Olivetti word. We take on lots of cultural projects every year through our collaboration with Olivetti and with the Olivetti Historical Archives. One of the last things we did was the virtual online museum and the OTL22 typeface, a print character in homage to Lettera 22, and Olivetti's iconic typewriter. Designing a typeface that anyone can use to write down our own thoughts brings to mind Olivetti's metaphor of the bell. Sorry, I read. Everyone can ring his own bell without fear or hesitation. It only has a voice for a free world. This is really just another reason to believe in his philosophy. Consumers don't exist today. People exist. A company has to speak to people. A company today should not be trying to create trends. We should be creating innovative projects. With this idea in mind, we developed the dynamic brand methodology. It is a methodology that I have been teaching in Italian, Spanish, and US universities since 2003. The dynamic brand methodology brings the company closer to its target by building an authentic relationship. It is a new way to communicate that replaces the traditional hierarchical structure. With the dynamic brand, the organization architecture of communication changes. The up-down framework no longer exists. Logo, corporate identity, below the line, advertising, digital, etc. What happens with the dynamic brand is that the communication architecture becomes truly integrated. This is something that is happening in many industries, but there is often a lot of resistance. The dynamic brand is a circular framework. At the center are the corporate values and the visual identity system. The logo doesn't have the same responsibility it had in the past. It works together with other media in a dialogue, each aspect communicating consistently with the other. In this way, the investment and the budget a project has is optimized. This is one of reasons why the dynamic identity is recognizable even in the absence of a logo. So, many times we ask ourselves, when does identity really exist? Identity exists when there's diversity. For example, there's no shadow without light, and there's no light without shadow. Without its opposite, light too would be not perceived. Let's think about the beauty of opposites. Black and white contain infinite color nuances, like a window opening onto the world. Diversity brings to mind evolution. The more we know, the more objective vision we have of the world, of what we prefer, what we can prefer, of the things we choose, so we can build our true identity. Have you ever taken a trip? When you come home, you are the same person, but something feels different, something has changed. Your life, your feelings have been enhanced by the trip. You are richer. There is a new nuance thanks to the new landscape, those new colors, those new flavors, those new eyes. Something was stimulated in you that was dormant. For this, identity is in diversity. And for this, a brand or a personal brand have the same principle. I'm very surprised during my workshops around the world when young people under 25 years old remember the Olivetti brand, thanks to Adriano Olivetti. I think that ideas are stronger than ephemeral forms. They are an end to themselves. This points to our greatest potential. The concept makes the design. Thanks to Adriano Olivetti and thanks to all the designers that took Project for People, thinking about making a better world. Thanks.